He arrived in America with nothing. He left it with everything. Then he gave it all away. In 1848, a 13-year-old boy stepped off a boat in New York City. No money, no connections, no education beyond the age of 10. His father had been a skilled weaver in Scotland until the steam-powered loom arrived and destroyed everything. The machines replaced the craftsmen. The income vanished. The family's dignity went with it. And so they came to America. Because America, they had been told, was the place where a boy with nothing could become something. His name was Andrew Carnegie. They had no idea how right they were. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. His first job, bobbin boy in a cotton factory, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, $1.20 per week. He was 13 years old. Most boys accepted it as their life. Carnegie used it as fuel. He taught himself. He read everything. A local businessman named Colonel James Anderson opened his personal library to working boys every Saturday, and Carnegie never missed a week. Within 2 years, he was a telegraph operator, the fastest in Pittsburgh, reading Morse code by sound alone. Then he caught the attention of Thomas Scott, superintendent of the Pennsylvania Railroad. Scott became his mentor, and Scott taught Carnegie the most important lesson of his life. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. Carnegie invested. He studied. He saw something in England in 1872 that no one else fully understood yet: the Bessemer steel process. He came back to America and built a steel mill in Pittsburgh. Then another. Then he owned the iron ore, the coal mines, the ships, the railroads. Every stage, from raw earth to finished steel, belonged to Andrew Carnegie. By 1900, Carnegie Steel produced more steel than the entire nation of Great Britain. In 1901, J.P. Morgan bought him out for $480 million. Morgan shook his hand and said, "Congratulations, Mr. Carnegie. You are now the richest man in the world." A bobbin boy from Dunfermline, Scotland, the richest man in the world. Stop for a second. Drop in the comments. Do you think self-made men like Carnegie can still exist in America today? I want to read every answer below. But Carnegie had already decided what the money was for. In 1889, 12 years before the sale, he had published an essay called The Gospel of Wealth. His argument: the man who dies rich dies disgraced. He believed the wealthy had one legitimate purpose for their fortune: give it away, intelligently, during their own lifetime. And then he spent the rest of his life proving he meant it. He built 2,509 public libraries across the English-speaking world. He thought of Colonel Anderson's library, the one that had saved him as a working boy in Pittsburgh. He decided every boy like him deserved the same door. So he built the doors: Carnegie Hall, university endowments, teacher pensions, the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, $350 million, given away, 90% of everything he had ever made. But there is another story. July 1892, Homestead, Pennsylvania. Carnegie's steel workers were fighting for fair wages. Carnegie went on vacation to Scotland and left his plant manager Henry Clay Frick in charge with one instruction: break the union. Frick locked the workers out. He hired 300 armed Pinkerton agents and sent them up the Monongahela River by barge at dawn. What followed was a battle. 9 workers killed, dozens wounded. The strike was broken. The union was crushed. Carnegie received the news in Scotland and wrote to Frick privately, "Life is worth living again." He never returned to Homestead. He never publicly acknowledged the workers who died. And 3 years later, he began building Carnegie Hall. This is the impossible equation of Andrew Carnegie, the man who built 2,509 libraries, allowed armed agents to shoot down the workers who built his fortune, the man who wrote that the wealthy had a moral duty to give, made it necessary to give by the way he built the wealth in the first place. He used his generosity to rewrite his own story: the libraries, the concert hall, the universities, all of it real, all of it genuine, all of it built on the same foundation as Homestead, Andrew Carnegie died August 11th, 1919, 83 years old. At his death, almost his entire fortune was gone, given away, exactly as he promised. The 2,509 libraries are still standing. Carnegie Hall still stands on 7th Avenue, and on a small memorial in Homestead, Pennsylvania, the workers who died still have names. Both are real. Both are Andrew Carnegie. The man who dies rich dies disgraced. He said it. He meant it. He also made it necessary to say it by how he built the fortune in the first place. If Carnegie's story left you holding both sides of that ledger, you already know this channel is where you belong. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. Because the next figure we cover did not build an empire. He burned one down and changed the course of American history forever. That episode is coming soon. Don't miss.